Hi guys, happy Thursday. I think it's Thursday. It is, because Versus is tonight. But whatever day you encounter this reading, you engage with this reading, happy day to you. I'm going to do some deep breathing. Feel free to join me. So today, I'm very excited because one of my favorite readings to do is the year ahead reading that I have on my website, mellowNeptuneWaters.com. If you go to my services, it'll give more information there, but I pull a card for each month within a 12-month time period, and we look at what is to come, and then I pull a clarity card for each of those. So I'm going to do some kind of form of that, a general reading for the year ahead for 2022. And of course, if you want a one-on-one, or if you want your own personal reading for what is to come for January 2022 through December 2022, or if you want to start with December, we can do that. December 2021 through November 2022, we can do that. And just reach out to me. You can DM me. You can email me at mellowneptunewaters@gmail.com. And then if you're just like, let me feel it out first, go to my website, mellowneptunewaters.com. Let's do some breathing. Feel free to pause this if you need to do more than what I'm doing. Feel free to fast forward if you're like, I hate breathing. It's perfectly fine. Sit up nice and tall. Feet flat if you can, or at least feel your seat, your butt connected to your surface and rooted and grounded to the center of the earth, where you are safe, where you are planted, you are protected, you are clear, you are guided. Feel your head nice and tall and connected to the heavens, where you are hearing messages clearly with discernment, attuned to the message that divine has for you, that your ancestors have for you, that spirit, your angels, your higher self want to invite you into receiving today. Inhale and exhale at your own pace. Soften your jaw, your brows, your fingers, your shins, your ankles, your elbows, your sit bones, your chest, your stomach. Release all tightness in your tongue. Make faces if you need to. Whenever you inhale, make it something that's affirmative, something that is loving and supportive for your life and your path and your purpose. And exhale anything that obstructs that purpose and path. Resting assured that you are exactly where you are supposed to be right now in this moment. All right, y'all. So, because I only get so much time on Instagram, I want to get started. I'm still filling out if we're going to do an abbreviated year ahead, or we're just going to do 6 months, or if I'm just going to do 12. I just don't want to rush through it. That's why I'm like, oh, let's start with 6. If I got some time, we'll do the rest of the 6 months of the year. But let's start with January 2022. Let's see what Spirit wants to show for y'all. I will not be doing clarity cards for you because, again, I only have so much time on Instagram. But, again, if you want your own personal reading, we can do a separate one and you can get a personalized reading. So, the general reading for January 2022. Spirit, what message do you have for the people for January 2022? This really is one of my favorite readings. Ooh, okay, so January 2022, you have the Four of Swords. So for some of you, maybe even all of you, all of us, 2021 was like war, emotional warfare, just really draining and depleting. And also on the other side of that is this really beautiful awakening that happens when you are faced with such challenges. You get to see who you truly are, and the fighter and the warrior in you really shows up. What January 22 is showing is that you have some reprieve. Like you are just like, okay, I just went through this thing. I know there's more to come, but for right now, I need to rest. I need to rest. I need to, you know what happens when you sleep? You are more receptive to the spirit realm, and dreams come, clarity comes, answers to questions you've been asking comes, especially when you open yourself up to that. So that's what this vibe is for January. It's like, what happens when you rest? What happens if you divorce the notion of hustle and bustle all the time? What happens when you actually have energy to really show up in your full essence? That's what January 2020 is looking like. Okay, let's just rest our swords. Let's give it a minute. Let's breathe. Let's be present. And then we will have the clear answer as what to do moving forward. Let's look at February 2022. How about this? I'm going to do the whole year. If Instagram cuts me off, I will either do a part 2 that I upload, and or we will show it on the YouTubes, which is Mellow Neptune Waters. February, 2 cards came out. You have the Hermit, and then you have the 5 of Swords. This is a really pretty card. It's almost like going into the middle of nowhere to go fight. Or to... So this is what I'm getting. So there, for some of you, especially in February, the beginning of the year, because we're not restricted to time, right? Time is fluid. But for the sake of this construct, for February, you have the Hermit card and the 5 of Swords. For some of you, this might be a moment where you really get to center yourself. You really get to get clear yet again from January, right? After resting, and you're like, all right, I'm clear. I get to see what's happening for real. Seeing through the BS, and you really get to see who's on your side, who's on your team, and who you can trust. That's the energy I'm getting from this for some of you. Trust that. If you've had a feeling about somebody, trust that. Trust that. You don't, especially with the swords, the whole backstabbers. It's a real thing. Don't focus on it, but just be discerning. Like if you're kind of like, I don't really trust this person or their intentions. I mean, trust that discernment, that unction, and let spirit continue to unveil what to do moving forward. All right, March 2022. It's a wonderful month. I'm biased. It's my birth month. March 2022, springtime. What message do you have, spirit, for people? Oh, okay. We have the 4 of Cups. Another 4. I just heard the word decisions / indecisions. So for March, which is very apropos that it's a cup card, because March, Pisces, water, emotions, sentimentality. It could be a little, for some of you, could be a little drama queenish in that I don't usually use that phrase. How do we say it? So you might be dismissing all that you really do have access towards, or access to. All of your resources. You might just be like, I don't want this. And this isn't to say to settle, but it is to say, don't be so prideful that you resist help, that you resist support. Because like, we are all in this thing. As corny as it sounds, it's so real. We're all in this life thing together. It is imperative that we allow other folks to support us. Somebody might see a need that you have, or they're just being obedient to the spirit, telling them to help or support and assist in this way. Your responsibility is to be receptive, discerning, and receptive. That's your March 2022. Allow help, allow support, and know that it's coming from a good place. Even if it's not, that's not your business. Your business is to receive what spirit wants you to receive and has for you in that moment. So I will take, if there's anybody watching this, like, I would sure love to get a photo of this reading. let me know. I'll take a still shot and send it to you. All right. Let's look at April. We have January, February, March, April 2022. April 2022. Ooh, Queen of Swords came out in this deck as well earlier. Queen of Swords, April. There's a lot of feminine energy here, which gives the nurturing energy, gives very wise, clear notion. So April, Queen of Swords, again, clear, powerful, on point. There's this ability to, okay, there's an ability to see through the bullshit. And for that to not throw you off your game. It's like being very clear, looking it in its face, knowing what you are facing head on, and making the decision to traverse it. Like to just really, to not get stuck in a situation, but to really be able to penetrate it and to move through it creatively. It's very transformative. I'm looking at the butterflies that's swarming around her. This is a breakthrough moment for some of you. It might be some opportunity that you'll get to really speak your mind and to really be honest and direct and straightforward. For some of you, it could be a promotion. It could be that you are moving up in your work, whether you're an entrepreneur and stepping out, or if you are in a traditional setting. This is an opportunity for you to either audition and or interview, or you have already been, you're being promoted. Like this is happening. May. I also heard the word mother. I don't know who that's for. It's very maternal energy. Yeah, maybe somebody having a child. And finding your voice, or really getting your footing as a parent, maybe. May 2022. I'm gonna need to put some more light on because the sun is going down. May 2022. King of Swords. Ooh, right after the Queen of Swords. The King of Swords has mastered. So, okay. So this King of Swords could be a person. It could be an energy or somebody who is coming into your life. It could be a boss. It could be a mentor. Some masculine energy. It doesn't have to be a man, but there is this masculine energy or this authoritative energy for May 2022. Might even be an aspect of yourself to tap into during May 2022. So that April-May energy is really like... it might feel cutthroat. I just heard cutthroat. It might feel cutthroat. It might even feel a little boot campish, but it's really driving home the point that, yeah, you have to show up and you have to really be authoritative and vocal and honest and direct. You don't have to go in there with the intention of being hateful or hurtful, and also try to avoid beating around the bush, because that really doesn't benefit anybody. June 2022. It's the Nine of Wands. June 2022 is the Nine of Wands. This card, it's like the midpoint between January, right? January and June. This January was like, okay, I just went through the hill. I know I'm about to go through a little bit more, but I need some rest. The June Nine of Wands is affirmative. It's very much like, I'm at this place. I'm almost at the end. I'm almost at the end of this challenge, but there's something really beautiful that's going to come from it. This gives protective energies, like you're protecting what's yours. This could be protecting your art, like your not LLC, but your like copyright. protecting your craft, your art. That midpoint of the year could be like you've gone through all this stuff to create a product or a concept. And again, this is definitely for some of the entrepreneurs. Protect your work and protect your art, and make sure that you have all of the legal documents that you need to back what you're working on. All right, so that was our halfway point. We just did January 2022 through June 2022. We're going to look at August 2022. These cards is just sliding on out. August, Knight of Cups. Okay, we're going to get it in focus. So the Knight of Cups, this for some of you could represent a romantic relationship. Let's see if it won't get in focus. It's like a knight in shining armor. This does not have to be a male partner. It just is depicted as a man. The August 2022 could represent a relationship or really falling deeply in love with yourself or being your own hero, right? It has to do with rescuing, though. It does have to do with, I just heard the word compelling. So yeah, this might just be somebody outside of yourself. For some of you, it definitely is. You're starting a relationship. It could be a proposal for August 2022. It could be the date that you're going to set your wedding for, or it could be that you're meeting somebody new, some romantic partner or partners, whatever floats your boat. September 2022. That's Leo season for August. Cancer, Leo. No, Leo, Virgo. It's Leo, Virgo. September 2022. Ooh, September 2022, the Fool. It's time to take some risks, time to take some chances. So if this has to do with a loving relationship, then you might be, I just heard falling in love. Falling in love despite your fears of what the relationship's going to be like based on previous relationships. You might be comparing it like, well, I'm hesitant because in the past, This isn't about the past. This is about forward movement. And this isn't about moving forward in fear. It's about trusting your gut. And if you can be a little hard-hearted or rigid or cold or just really stagnant and like, this is how I'm going to do things. One, how is that working for you? Two, this is the September 22 is really a beautiful opportunity for you to take all of that and throw it over the edge and jump with it. Like, throw that over the edge, but also, why don't you cross over that threshold as well to really try something new? Because if you have a desire for something and it hasn't come to fruition yet, that moment, September 22, might be calling for you to try something new. Try something that will actually work for you. October 2022. October 2022. I like the way 2022 sounds. Sounds like new. Sounds like change. Sounds like shift. October 2022. This is the Six of Cups. For some of you, this could be having children. It might be somebody that you're having children with, this Knight of Cups with. Maybe you jumped over the edge, tried a new thing, and you got pregnant. Or you got somebody else pregnant. Congratulations in advance if this is you, October 2022. This could also be, because this is a general reading, going from September to October. When you jumped and you decided, I'm going to try a new thing, you found yourself tapping into your younger self and really doing something that you used to judge yourself for, or that you may have had this notion like, well, adults don't do that. That's childish. Like, that's immature. But is it? And do you need to place judgment on it? Why don't you go cycling by the beach? Why don't you play hopscotch? Why don't you play dodgeball or handball, basketball, kickball, foursquare, double dutch, skip it, or bop it? I was thinking skippo. Do something that's immature and youthful. Paperboy, or what was that little Nintendo game where it had the blue and the red dot and you would run on it? That was my shit. Pull out your Nintendo, your old school video game, your Gigapet. Do something that really, by the middle end of next year, is just awakening and enlivening that part that part of you. You might even find that there's a part of you, anytime you're introduced to your younger self, I feel like that is an opportunity to heal the little you that was afraid, the little you that was judged, the little you that wasn't fully cared for, the little you that felt neglected or underserved, undermined, hidden, whether it was from other people or just within yourself, that you didn't fully feel connected to your value or your worth. October 2022 is an opportunity to not just heal that, but to, because there's a process to the healing, right? But to at least encounter it and address it, and then to go from there. October, November 2022. My phone is telling me it's too dark. I feel like my phone ain't mind's business, which I guess is my business too. There was light and it was good. All right. September, October, nope. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Oh, hold on. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So, yes, my bad. Let me go back. I told you for October. This was September, I believe. September. So, the little girl in you, the little boy in you, the little you in you that you need to become reacquainted with, or to meet for the first time, to really like hear what they're telling you. I feel like for some of you that's really going to be the breakthrough career-wise, where you'll feel like the only true resolve to your path, to knowing your path, is to knowing yourself. And a lot of knowing yourself has to do with recalibrating and really learning who you truly are, not just who you were told you were or who you decided you wanted to be. That's great too. Choice is wonderful. And also, it's like a collaboration between you and your younger self. I've spent a lot of time on this card because I feel like connecting to your younger self is the answer to a lot of things that people ask questions to. So again, this was July. I think I lied to y'all, and I did it out of love. So you had June, the Nine of Wands. July, the Knight of Cups. That's your water, which is very appropriate for July, Cancer energy. July. August, the Fool, which is great. That's summertime. Try a new thing. Be adventurous. September, your younger self, little you, and or for some of you, it could be conceiving of a child and or preparing to deliver said child. So now we're on October 2022. October 2022. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. I just heard spend some time at home. If that means leaving your job temporarily, taking some time off, do that. But there's something that needs a new fresh start for October 2022. It's the to smoothly transition to November, December, and the months to follow. October 2022 is giving you another opportunity to reset and to create the home you want. That could be renovation, that could be clearing out old furniture, old clothes, donating them, clearing out people, you moving. But yeah, October 22 is calling for some beautiful shifts to happen. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in the reverse like it came out. November 2022. November was quite eager to come out. I kept feeling inspired towards November 22. So let's see what November 22 has in store. The moon. It came out in reverse. The moon 2022 in reverse. Deep emotions. Deep intuitive hits. November, I mean, that's Scorpio, Sagittarius energy anyways. So you may or may not be super duper active November 2022. It might be a moment of just wherever you are, really being intentional about trusting your gut intuitions, especially at the latter end. So even if it's not just specifically November 2022, really pay attention to your intuition, your gut instincts at the end of the year, because that might inform some of the stuff that's down the line. And you don't want any mishaps or like unnecessary fumbles if all it took was just like trusting that ringing in your ear, or extra prayer in the morning, or extending your meditations, or lighting an extra candle, leaving an extra plate at your ancestor altar. Just be very mindful of your November 2022. Also, be mindful of intruders, people invading your space, your physical space, but more so your emotional and your spiritual, your energetic field. Be mindful of people like coming in, crab, like coming to take something or to deplete you, intentionally or unintentionally. Use discernment. December 2022. I was just thinking, I'm so surprised only one card for each month has come out, because usually, well, except for February, usually multiple cards come out. Wow, December is Page of Swords and King of Cups. That's pretty sexy. It's like taking the sword, beginning of the year was the Four of Swords. It's like taking the thing that was such a challenge for you, mastering it, studying it, like being in full and complete control over it, harnessing your skill set. It can be a little skill set, but I mean, when I say skill set, I mean that thing that was troubling for you at the beginning of the year. It's something that you've been endowed with at the end of the year, and you've mastered it. You've mastered how to approach it, how to speak to it, whether that's people. It could be people, it could be your inner voice, it could be your inner confidence, it could be your inner child. The page is a young person. It could be for you, for those of you who are mentors or tutors. December is winter break, so it might be letting you know that just as much as you give to other people, tend to yourself as well, care for yourself as well, feed yourself as well. I have many, many thoughts that are coming to me, keeping them appropriate for the internet. Yeah, December 2022. I just heard conquer your fears. Really just take hold of the things that are working in your favor. Trust that your flow is yours. It is not intended to look like anybody else's. Your journey is yours. It is not intended to look like anybody else's. And you don't want it to, because that means that you would then have to go through the ish that they are going through. And you're going through your own. So I think just continue to focus on your path. Be clear on your desires. And if you want a specific channeled reading for you, whether it is a 3-card spread or if it is a year ahead, which would come with clarity cards, then reach out to me. I would be more than happy to pull for you and to see what comes up. I really am like itching to pull clarity cards on this, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to wait and see what readings we have in the future. I've already done a few of yours. I'm really excited to do more of yours. It's going to be great. Happy end of the year. We are in December finally, and we are releasing some stuff that no longer serves us as we are entering into a new space with new lessons. We have a new moon coming up Saturday, December 4th. New moon in Sagittarius, fire energy. So it's a great time to be clear on what it is that you want. And if the way that you need to start is by determining what you don't want, then start there. And then process of elimination. So I love y'all. Reach out to me if you would like to inquire about your own reading. Even if you're not ready to book, feel free to reach out to me. I love y'all. Stay dope. Bye.